Hello, dear friends, how are you? Now, the world is changing rapidly, and whatever is there available in front of us, it is being improved on a consistent basis by their producers. They know it that unless and until they improve it, they keep improving it, they will perish, they will become outdated, out of the market. If at all everything is being updated on a regular basis, upgraded on a regular basis, our life too needs the improvement. We need improvement as well. We need to improve our life. We need to improve ourselves. We need to improve our performance as well. And this too must be done on a regular basis, on a consistent basis. As long as we are alive, we should keep making effort how to be a better and more better person, how to improve my life on a regular, consistent basis. So, our today's talk is about how can we improve ourselves on a consistent basis, and then as a result, how can we improve our life on a consistent basis. So, let's this take this topic. And first of all, we need to understand what is the self improvement, understanding the self improvement. And number one, it is the continuous growth. Continuous growth. Self improvement is a lifelong journey and not a destination at all. It is not like I have reached my destination and I don't need to improve further. It is not like that at all. Rather, it is the continuous growth. Self improvement is a lifelong journey and not a destination at all. That is the number one thing to understand. Never at no place I can find, I can think and suppose that I have reached my destination and I don't need to improve myself. I don't need to improve my life. So the second thing is awareness and reflections. Awareness and reflections. It is recognized areas for improvements. Once we reflect upon our life, once we reflect upon our life, we can recognize areas on our on we can recognize areas for improvement and reflect on your experiences, reflecting on your thoughts, reflecting on your emotions, and reflecting on your experiences. That is that is about awareness and reflections. Now, the third point is small steps, big impact. Small steps, big impact. How would it be possible? Break down goals into manageable steps. Breaking down of goals into the manageable steps for lasting change. Break down goals into manageable steps for lasting change. So these are the three very basic points to understand. Once we are talking about, once we try to understand the self improvement. Now, moving forward, there are certain key principles of self improvement. Certain key principles of self improvement. The first key principle is set clear goals. Setting of clear goals and establish specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals, time bound objectives. So these are called SMART objectives. SMART is an abbreviation comprising five letters. First letter S stands for the specific, second letter M stands for the measurable. Measurability means specific mean that I very clearly define what you want to achieve. Measurable mean you want to achieve 500,000 but you have succeeded in achieving 150,000. So that means the measurability. Now the third letter in the SMART abbreviation is the A. A stands for the attainable, achievable, not something which is too ideal or too big, you know, which is just a wish list and not a goal, but it must be attainable, achievable. Now the fourth letter in the SMART is R, mean relevant. The relevancy here mean that you should set the goals which are either going to make your life better, or the life of your loved ones, or the life of the general public. And also it should come under your values, not against that at all. Not to sacrifice your values for the purpose of so-called improvement. So it should be relevant. And the T stands for the time bound. Time bound mean that have a set a deadline, set a limit, and mean like I want to achieve this thing by the end of 2025. But it does not mean that you cannot extend it. Later on, if you find that you couldn't achieve it on time, you can extend it a little bit as well. So that is called SMART goals. So the first thing is, as for the key principles of self improvement is concerned, the first key principle is set clear goals, set SMART goals. Now the second is create a growth mindset. Creating a growth mindset, that is the second key principle of self improvement. That is create a growth mindset, embrace challenges. How can we create a growth mindset? It can be created by embracing challenges and learning from failures. It can be done by embracing challenges and learning from failures, and persist in the face of obstacles. There are hurdles, there are obstacles, but if at all you are persisting, then it means that you are creating a growth mindset. Now, the third point, as for the key principle is concerned, it is prioritize self care. Prioritizing self care. Nurture your, how can we do that? That is, nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well being. It is the prioritizing self care is the third key principle of self improvement, and it says nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well being. And now the fourth key principle of self improvement is seek feedback and learn. Seeking feedback and learning. Encourage constructive criticism and use it as an opportunity for growth. Seeking feedback and learn. How can it be done by? Encourage constructive criticism and use it as an opportunity for growth. That is the fourth key principle of self improvement. Now, the fifth key principle of the self improvement is that stay accountable. Staying accountable, how can it be done? Share your goals and progress with a trusted friend or with a mentor. That is how we can stay accountable. So the five key principles of self improvement is that, set clear goals. Number two, create a growth mindset by embracing challenges and learning from failures. Now the third key principle is prioritizing self care. Nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well being. Take care of your physical, mental, and emotional happiness and health. Now the fourth key principle of the the self improvement is seeking feedback and learn. And the how can it be done? That is, encourage constructive criticism and use it as an opportunity for the purpose of growth. The fifth and the last key principle of self improvement is that stay accountable, share goals and progress with a trusted friend or with a mentor. Now the next segment of our today's talk is that strategies consistency strategies mean regularity, permanency. That is strategy for consistency. So these are five strategies to stay consistent, and to keep improving ourselves on a consistent basis, on a regular basis. There are five consistency strategies. Number one, develop a routine. If we can make a routine, that establish a regular schedule for self improvement activities, like if at all you go out for the sake of walk, that is an important activity in the self improvement, and make it a routine. Set a specific timeline for it. Schedule it, that this is the time for my walk and not for the time of any other activity. So I'm going for my walk. That is what is said here. Develop a routine. Establish a regular schedule for self improvement activities. Like in the same manner, all other activities like writing, like journaling, like speaking, like any other activity which is related to the self improvement. Now, the second is track progress. The second consistency strategy is track progress, and use a journal, use a spreadsheet, or a smartphone application to monitor your growth. That is, use a journal, spreadsheet, or smartphone application to monitor your growth, or adopt any way for the purpose of tracking progress, for the purpose of keeping an eye on your progress. Now, the third consistency strategy is celebrate milestones. How can it be done? Acknowledge and celebrate your achievements along the way. Acknowledge and celebrate your achievements along the way. That is the third, that is the third point. That is the third consistency strategy, which says celebrate milestones, no matter how small an achievement is, no matter how small a progress is. We need to appreciate ourselves, we need to reward ourselves, we need to celebrate. Now, the fourth consistency strategy is be patient, and be patient and persistent. Be patient and persistent. Self improvement is a marathon, no, and not a sprint at all. Mean, it is not 100-meter race that run very fast because it is going to end within a very short, within few seconds or a minute. But as far the marathon is concerned, because as long as we are alive, we have to keep working for the self improvement. So for this reason only, we need to adopt a speed which is sustainable, maintainable, because we have to do it on each and every day in our life, from morning to evening, evening to morning. So for that reason, understand, be patient, and be persistent. The fifth and the last consistency strategy is stay flexible. Staying flexible. Adopt to changes and adjust your approach as needed. Ad- that is, adopt to changes and adjust your approach as needed. These are the five consistency strategies. Staying flexible is the last one. It means how can we continue it for a longer period of time. It is not something which can be done, which is needed to be done for a month or two. It is something which has to be carried on for a longer period of time, forever, during our lifetime. So, for that reason, certain consistency strategies are needed. So, these are five. In few seconds only, I'm going to repeat all that. It is develop a routine, that is the number way. Number way, track the progress, keep an eye on the progress. Number three, celebrate milestones Every small progress should be celebrated. Number four, be patient and persistent. Number five, stay flexible. And now there are certain additional tips as well. These additional tips are only three in number. One is focus on the progress, not perfection. Emphasize growth over an unachievable ideal. Focus on the growth over an unachievable ideals. So, my dear friends and fellows, focus on the progress, not perfection. Nobody can be a perfect. So, do not die for a perfection at all. Rather, always look for the improvement, for the growth. And that is the additional tip number one. Additional tip number two is practice self compassion. Treat yourself with the kindness, treat yourself with the understanding. When you faced with the setback, with the failure, with an obstacle, with the trouble, with the pain, do not harshly criticize yourself at all. Instead, that is practice self compassion. Treat yourself with the kindness, with the understanding, and every time you face a setback, that is the additional tip number two. Now, the additional tip number three is seek inspiration and guidance. Seeking inspiration and guidance. Surround yourself with the sportive people, with the sportive books, with the sportive resources, with the sportive videos. That is, seek inspiration and guidance. Now, by incorporating these principles and strategies into your daily life, you will be well on your way to a consistent self improvement and more fulfilling life. That is how we can constantly improve our life. That is all from me today. Thank you very much.